Going. There we go. Hey, everybody, you're back with another episode of 19 Cats and Counting. I am Rita Reimers, certified cat behaviorist. We have an awesome guest today. I can't wait for you to meet her. We'll be right back after this message. And we're back with 19 Cats and Counting. In case you forgot, I am cat behaviorist Rita Reimers. Visit me at ritareimers.com. But enough of me. We're going to talk with my friend KJ McGlinn. She is the Kitty Correspondent, and I'm dying to know what that means and what she does. Hi, KJ.
Hi, thanks for having me, Rita. I'm so
Well,
excited to be here.
me too. It was so great to catch up. I haven't seen you since like 24 and the CFA. So you've been into a lot of things. But first, tell me, how did you become a Kitty Correspondent?
Yes. So I started my career in radio in Dubuque, Iowa. I actually grew up in Wisconsin. I started as a teenager, and that was where my media career began. But I was destined to become the kitty correspondent because my first word written in my baby book is kitty. I didn't say mama. I didn't
Oh,
say dada. I said kitty as my first word. So
that's
that's
awesome.
actually where it began. The
I
first time
love
I talked
that.
about cats.
Did your mom go, uh-oh, we better get a cat?
Well, it was because we did have cats, and I was reminded quite often that if I was going to say kitty as my first word, at least I went and made a career out of it. So it was not lost on her.
Love it.
So I moved around as radio people do, and ended up in Indianapolis, which is my home now. That's where Pet Pals TV, the nationally syndicated show that is still on, 15 years and running,
Yeah.
is based out of. And the host of Pet Pals TV, Patty Spitler, who's a broadcast Hall of Famer and my mentor, would come into the radio studio with her pet stories and tell us, here's what's coming up this Saturday on Pet Pals TV. And she, as we got to know each other, she would constantly just be at me. You'd get done doing a segment and she'd say, KJ, I need you on Pet Pals TV. You're the only person I know is as passionate and knowledgeable about cats as you are. You got to be on the team. And I would say,
And you're
Patty,
comfortable in front of the camera and you're
yeah.
pretty and yeah.
Well, I wasn't comfortable in front of the
Oh,
camera because I was doing radio. So I'd be like, Patty, I like doing radio. I like coming in my PJs and doing my show and going home.
I
I don't
get
want
it.
to do this.
I'm
I don't,
wearing kitty pajama pants. I know.
right? Right. So as it happened, as it does often in radio, my radio company got bought, and I was not invited to the new radio company's party.
Oh,
And so I had time to be the kitty correspondent for Pet Pals TV finally. And
nice.
Patty was thrilled. Not
Like,
thrilled that I
yes, I
got
got her.
fired, but like thrilled that I was finally like, okay. And in the beginning, I actually had to remind her. I don't know how to do TV. I don't know what I'm doing. So she'd be like, you don't hold the mic like that. You hold the mic on this side. And she literally had to teach me how to be on TV.
I get it.
And so it just grew into, part of who I was. And as it had turned out, while I was working in radio, I'd actually worked at a cat clinic part-time for 12 years. So I started taking this like hands-on experience that I had, learning under a feline specialist, and then doing these stories for Pet Pals TV and
Hmm.
remembering like how much I learned growing up on a farm and having my own cats.
Right.
And it just became this like natural. People came to me and wanted to ask questions about their cats, and if I didn't have the answer, I knew someone who did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's
so
how I am too. I mean, I don't pretend to know everything, but you surround yourself with people who do.
yeah,
And then you
yeah.
expand your knowledge too.
Yeah. So that just, I mean, it just became a very natural extension with my media
Hmm.
experience that I put my heart into telling stories about cats. And so now I'm on several different TV shows, being the kitty correspondent. I wrote my book, Raised by Cats, Behind the Mic and the Meows. And now I run, I founded a cat convention called PurrCon. So it
Oh my
just
gosh, we have so much to talk about. We could be here for an hour, but go back to your book. Tell me about your book. I saw that you had that book out. Tell me what made you write it and what's it about.
It's a little bit of a a biography, but also it's a love letter to cats. You are going to learn some things about behavior, but really what I wanted people to come away with when I wrote Raised by Cats is that there nobody really gives you a manual for how to have a cat. And even if they wrote it, it doesn't have everything in it because every cat is an
Different.
individual.
Yeah.
And I think things are getting better, but at the time that I wrote the book, I felt like there wasn't anybody out there saying, hey, you know what, cat mom, you're doing the best you can with what you know,
Right.
right? You're doing the best you can with what you have.
Hmm.
And so that's really what the book is I I start off actually, talking about, my first word being kitty and being raised on the farm and having a different view of cats then Reggie, my I call him my practice cat because I did so many things I would never do with my
Yeah,
cat.
Inga was my practice cat. I get it.
Right. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, Reggie. This whole book is dedicated to you because boy, boy, was I just a mess trying to figure things out with you. But that's the truth of, I feel like that is the truth of cat guardianship. I don't like to say ownership because I don't think we ever own a cat, but the truth about taking a cat into your home is that you cannot predict what life with that cat is going to be like,
It's
but
true.
you also shouldn't beat yourself up if you are in a place where life isn't perfect.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I live with 15, as people who are listening know, and they're each different. They all have their different personalities. And, like this one right here wants lots of attention. I have other cats that they'll come to me when they want it, but it's on their terms. There's some cats I
Yeah.
can just go up to and grab, like
Well,
this one here.
and even then, Rita, I'll, talk to cat parents who are having such a difficult time because their cat isn't, not the lap cat, and they feel like they're doing something wrong. And it's like, does your cat sit near you? Is your cat in the room? Well, maybe that's how they show their love,
Hmm.
right? We don't shun people who are introverts. We go, oh, they're not as outgoing as I am, but that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Like we have to give cats grace for that, but we also have to give, you have to give yourself grace that if you are keeping that cat safe,
Hmm.
and we will, we go through this in my cat community. We'll talk about like what are all the things that we can check off the list right now to figure out if that cat's feeling safe. Because if your cat is feeling safe, they are happy, right?
Right.
And so if they're not getting on your lap, that's what happiness is. It's being in the room near you. It's what they can give, right? And not
Yeah.
expecting anymore.
And so much of what they've been through, colors their personality. And they can change, long story short, if you'll watch my Facebook, I took in a feral FIV cat,
Hmm.
and for 9 months I didn't see him.
Yeah.
And then gradually he'd come around, and well, now he's the first one on the bed at night crawling all over me. So be careful what you wish for.
Aw, I love
But
that.
yeah, see, it was up to him. He made the decision if he wanted that kind
Yes.
of close relationship or not.
Yes. Well, and I have the opposite, Rita, in that my least social cat, if you will, is Melody, and you saw her
Yeah,
during
she's
you saw her
pretty.
during the pre-show, right?
Uh-huh.
I giggle because she's very complicated and she prefers to live a life mostly separate from the other six. We have seven.
Right.
She has like alone time with certain cats. But we've been through, I mean, we've talked to our behaviorists. I have a wonderful integrative vet who has helped us with every single medical, issue that there could be. We have a wonderful animal communicator. And, I've been asked the question, well, we don't, maybe something happened before you got her. And I'm like, let me tell you Melody's sob story. She was in a wonderful foster home
Uh-huh.
until she was in a PetSmart for 3 hours and then I adopted her. She
Three
does not have
hours.
trauma.
Just 3 hours of trauma, that's all.
Now,
Right.
I have some cats who came in here with some
Oh,
stories
me
to tell,
too.
right? But like Melody had Nothing. Like, I can't sit here and say, well, Melody, you have to give Melody some grace because she had it rough before we adopted her. She didn't. She just
It's just
wants
her
to live a
personality.
more solitary life. She did
Yeah.
not sign up for a life in a house that had 7 cats. She wanted to be an
Hmm.
only cat. So we honor that.
I don't have any of those anymore, but I did have some like that. And, they are peaceful around the other cats, but they really don't want to play or snuggle or bathe or any of that. And that's okay if they're
Yeah.
happy, right?
Yep, yep. And she, I mean, she's out all night. We have, I mean, these are, things that people often ask me questions about. But we have 4 cats who go to bed at 9 o'clock every night. They have their bedrooms. They know where their bedrooms are.
Oh,
They love going to bed at night. And so she has free reign at night because the 2 cats that she does consider safe are out at night. So she gets her social time. She does her thing. At 5 a.m., when I'm up and I get moving, she goes into my
5
bedroom and she lives in my bedroom. She's got her queen's quarters, as we call it.
a.m.
And so I think a lot of times, people will struggle with their cats not getting along and they try to
Mhm.
keep them together. And I'm like, dude, give your cat a room and send them to their room. My cats love their room. And
I
even if
have,
you don't have a
yeah.
lot of rooms, I don't have a huge house, but you can rotate them. Like, they actually, if you give them everything they need, and they've got some birds to watch, and they've got their own food and their litter box. My cats love to be by themselves. Like, they love to
I
go to
talk
their
about
room.
roommates. I talk to roommates all the time, and I have my cats in my room, and he has his cats in his room. I have
Yep.
2 cats that like this one, Teddy Bear and Lulu in the next bedroom. That like to have their room, but the doors are open, so they
Mm-hmm.
can go wherever they want, but they don't want to. But other cats will come visit, just the
Yep.
ones they get along with. So yeah, you've got to let them decide. I could try to force them to come downstairs, but that's not what they want, so I'm not going to
Yep.
force
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever works for you, that's always like let's try it. I felt so horrible when I first started putting Melody in a room by herself, right?
it.
But
Hmm.
we needed to separate because she and my flame point Johnny Storm, I don't know, like I don't know what battles they had in their previous lives together, but they
Right.
just are not interested in
Oil and
seeing
water.
each other. Yep. And so when we started doing that, I felt horrible. But then I started realizing, like, she's never been happier. So if this is what makes her happy, then this is what we do. So,
Hmm.
removing the judgment from, what we expect life with cats to be makes it so much more freeing and makes it better for you and better for them. Like, figure out what works. And if it doesn't fit in the manual for how it's supposed to be, who cares? It works for you and your cat.
I agree. I always say when I had my you have a cat club. I had one for a while. It's a space of non-judgment, right?
Hmm.
Nobody like people come to me with multi-cat households because they know I have one. Maybe they're afraid to admit it to publicly, right?
Yeah.
No judgment. I'm never going to judge somebody unless you're a 500 cat hoarder. Then I might have a little something to say. But
Yeah.
for the most part, if your cats are happy and fed and taken care of, and you're living with them a certain way that maybe isn't, conventional or what you think is right, it's right for you and it's right for your
Yes.
cats.
Yep. Yep. And that, I mean, and that is to me the most important thing. And, and I'm sure you find it too, that often someone will come to you and they'll be like, hey, I got this kitten and my older cat absolutely cannot stand it. And you're like, well, how, you ask immediately, like, well, how long was the introduction process? And I just got this kitten this weekend. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I think you and I know, and I think cat parents are getting more educated.
they are.
We're empowering them much more, but there's still a lot of people that just don't know. And it's like, that's okay. You didn't know. Like, you didn't study to be a cat behavior
Right.
specialist. You didn't
Right.
work for 12 years in a cat clinic. These are things we know, but it's okay that you didn't. Let's just figure out how we can get that cat safe as quickly as possible so that you can both feel better.
Especially the first time cat parents. I get a lot of
Yep.
people that went from dogs to cats, especially during COVID. Um, I grew up with a dog. I love dogs.
Me
I don't
too.
understand them like I do cats. So they're a
Same.
whole different, perspective. And you really have to get to know. what cats are all about before you, if you can, before you bring one into your home, because they're just
Yeah.
totally different than a dog. Their approach is different.
Well,
Um,
and it's great to see.
uh-oh, you froze a little bit. Oh no. This will be interesting to see what's recording. I don't know if you can hear me, but you're frozen.
Too.
Oh, there you go. You're back. It'll be interesting to
Hi,
see what recorded.
and we're back.
So, what were you were starting to say something? We're talking about new people who are first-time cat owners.
Yeah. Well, I've been excited. What I was saying is, I'm really excited about the experts, the veterinarians. It feels like the entire cat industry is serving cat parents in a way that cat parents are demanding it now. Like, we don't want to fit our cats into the dog box,
Yeah,
right? I don't
right.
even want to go to someone's site if they say they have pet supplies and I go to their site and it's full of dog stuff and they have like
I
three cat things. I'm like, you're not a pet site, you're a dog site. Like, that's okay. It's fine. But like, I want someone who understands cats
hmm
to make products for my cats. So
exactly.
it's coming
Oh, I
along. And
know. They come to me all the time, and with dog stuff. I'm like, okay, great, but I don't do dogs, right?
yeah, I
Oh, we
just
have cats here, and you go to their website, and there's this little. Yeah,
yeah, so I think it's changing. I think it's a
it is.
great time to be a cat parent to make sure that you have a vet who actually is passionate and understanding about how to treat cats, the
Love my vet.
fear-free, like all of that. That wasn't a thing. It really wasn't a thing. 10 years ago, even it
No.
wasn't a thing. And it is now. So you can say, like, I want better for my cat. And you can find products, you can find behaviorists, you can find vets who actually do want to help you with those specific cat needs.
Yeah, that's what will say more than Prozac and Feel Away. Because
Yes.
those are not always the answer. I know we've got to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk more about your cat club, and you've got a convention coming up I want to talk about too. I'm very excited. I wish
Yes.
I could go, but maybe next year. Anyway, we'll be right
Yeah.
back after these messages with KJ McGlinn. And we're back with 19 Cats and Counting. I'm your host, Rita Reimers, cat behaviorist certified. And KJ, we've talked a lot about cats and cat personalities and how to make people feel more comfortable with what they're doing with their cats. But you have more ways than just our discussions of how to help cat parents feel more comfortable in what they're doing. Tell me about your cat club.
Yeah, so it was, it was born out of the getting lots of questions about cats and figuring out how to answer them, right? Like,
Right.
I gotta get all these people in one place because I can't just be in my messenger answering every cat question.
Oh, yeah, you
Uh,
could be there for hours doing that.
yes, yes, and I used to, and so as I got more and more known as the Kitty Correspondent, I decided I'm going to start this cat club. We'll see what happens. I've been in Facebook groups, where you're in it, and all of a sudden everyone's just yelling at each other, shaming
I
each other,
know.
giving bad information. You're like, what is going on here? So I really was very intentional in how I set up the club. And it's not it's not for behavior consulting, and I don't give vet advice. I live in the in between. I'm the connector and the translator. And so often, sometimes it's, that, well, I went to the vet and they said everything is fine. So what's wrong with my cat? Right. And it's like, well, they said that they ran tests and medically your cat is okay. That's good news.
Sure.
Right. So now we figure out, for me, I always now we figure out what is it that's making your cat not safe, because whether your cat is aggressive or your cat is hiding under a bed, everything comes down to safety. So through the cat club, which is just, it's on Facebook, it's free, it's KJ's Cat Club. There are a lot of people that have been in it for years and years that have learned from me, that have learned from experts in the group, that are fosters, that are on the front lines, that if you go in there and you say, I am having this issue, it really becomes it's a wonderful community of people that
Mhm.
are going to support, not judge. And so I'm very,
That's important, not judge.
right. It was really important to me when I created it that it be a compassionate space for cat parents.
Mhm.
And then as it grew, there, are certain cat parents who were looking for a little to go a little bit deeper. And so I have the Super Society, which is like literally my superhero cat parents. And they are in the chat together. They are figuring things out together. When end up heading to the vet and it's 3 a.m. and you are scared, you can get in that group and someone's gonna help calm your nervous system, be
Sure.
there with you, walk you through it, finding cool new products and being like, hey, I tried this thing out, it's working for my cat. So that's sort of like the next level is
Uh-huh.
the Super Society. And
Love it.
then all of this comes together and we gather once a year at PurrCon, which is my cat convention that happens inside this great big pop culture celebration
Wow.
called PopCon.
And you've got that coming up pretty soon.
We do, yes. So May 8th through the 10th, we're in Indianapolis. People have been coming to PopCon itself for 13 years from all over the states, from all over the world. It is a huge celebration, everything from cool celebrities to magic shows to an international film festival, escape rooms, laser tag. I mean, it's not a
Nice.
Comic Con. It is so much bigger than a Comic Con,
And this is not just cats, right?
and
It's
it is
cats, dogs,
not.
whatever
So
kind of pet you have.
so PopCon has been this amazing pop culture celebration for 13 years. They asked me a couple years ago after I got back from the CFA Cat Expo.
Oh, I
You
love
know,
that. I've
they
been to
said,
two of those. So
"Oh,
much
it was
fun.
so fun! It was so fun!" And I was telling them about it. I'm like, "So cool!" And they said, should we do something like that inside PopCon?" And I said, "Don't you say that to me," and then not let me do it. So PurrCon was born, and it is a curated space inside of PopCon where you can learn from experts. We have Every
Nice.
Cat Health Foundation is coming in this year, bringing some celebrities with them. Joey Luthman, who is in the middle of Joey's journey to a
Mhm.
million. You may know him from the TV show Weeds. He's got a couple of friends that were Disney XD stars, Dylan and Alan
Nice.
Snyder, that are coming in. They're debuting their documentary Catman at the PopCon International Film Festival.
Nice.
So it's entertainment and education together. And
And
you can
fun.
run
And
over
fun.
and meet Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings and then come back over and cuddle a kitten for 10 minutes.
Nice. I love
Yes.
that. Do they is it like CFA? Do they have cats there for adoption? Dogs too?
We don't do adoptions on site.
Okay.
That was one of the things. One, it was one of the things that I agreed to because PopCon had said, "Hey, this is really cool, but you're not going to have like thousands of cats like
Yeah.
that
I think
event that
that's
you went to." And
stressful
I was
for
like,
them.
"No, I'm not doing a cat show.
Yeah.
I'm doing a convention that celebrates cats." And for me, especially working in welfare like I do, I really wanted to honor cats by not stressing any of them out.
Agree.
And adoption events are very important. But inside this like super high energy space where there are 30,000 people who are like full of excitement because they are meeting celebrities that they love and wearing the cosplay they've
And
been
it's
working on
loud.
for, it's, yeah, I just was like, I don't want to stress cats out
Mhm.
by having this cat convention. So it worked out nicely. We partner with ARPO, which is the Alliance for Responsible Pet Ownership. They don't do any on site adoptions anyway.
Good.
They do, you have to fill out an application, do the home inspection, all of that. So
Nice.
they bring kittens, and we have a private room where we do, it's kind of like speed dating kittens. So you get 10 minutes in this nice quiet room to hang out with some kittens, and then you go back out into the into the pop culture craziness, and you
Nice.
can go sit and watch what's happening on the cat conversation stage or play musical cat boxes or go literally back out into PopCon. But the only cats that we have with us for PurrCon are those kittens, and that's really good for them, right? Because
They're
they're
getting socialized.
socializing
Yeah.
them, right? They're going to be able to tell are these kittens good around a lot of people? Are these kittens good with sound? So it actually serves a purpose in having the kittens there with us, but it's not a place that you can bring your own cat. It's not even a place where you can bring your dogs, although we do have a roving reporter. Dixie the praying dog is our celebrity dog who
Uh-huh.
reports on everything happening at PurrCon.
Cool.
But yeah, it's really more of a space to come celebrate with us, to learn from the experts that we bring in, and to just have a really great time with other people who get you, right? Who
Uh-huh.
want to see your 5,000 cat pictures on your phone and want to
Yeah.
talk about how crazy they are. So there are friendships that are forged. There are people that come back to meet again and see each
Hmm.
other, and it's all over cats.
I love that. So when is the date? When is this happening?
It is May 8th through the 10th,
Mhm.
and it's at the Indiana Convention Center here in Indianapolis. So if you go to purrconindy.com, you can see what guests are coming, see what games we're going to be playing. We'll be putting up the schedule very soon. I'm putting
Okay.
together all of that. And there's some videos from last year where you can see, what exactly is it like to go to a cat convention that's inside a pop culture convention.
So can they buy tickets on your website?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's great.
Yep. So we have superhero passes for the weekend. Some of them come with PopCon admission, and some of them, if you were already going to PopCon and you just want to upgrade to get the VIP experience in the
Right.
PurrCon area, we have that option too.
I love that. And can you believe we're just about out of time?
Oh
So you'll have to
man.
come back again. But I want to know, do you have any last words of wisdom for people who work with cats, who own cats, or just in general?
Yes. I mean, number one, give yourself a break, okay? Like,
It's important.
being a cat parent is so rewarding, but it is also very challenging. They are, remember that they share 96% of their DNA with a tiger. They did not
Yes,
adapt for us. They chose to move in with
that's
us.
right.
And
That's right.
so I operate under the super pillars, which are super as in SUPURR, super, which
Love
is
that.
safety, understanding, presence, unwinding, receiving, and rest. And you can learn all about those in my cat club. But basically, if you're doing those things with your cat, you are going to have a super life with your cat.
And what's your website, KJ?
You can go to supersociety.com or you can go to kjontheair.com and you'll find all my things Super Society, PurrCon, my Pet Pals TV stories. That's where I live, kjontheair.com.
I love it. I'm so glad that we were able to catch up with each other before we got on the air and on the air.
Me
And
too.
I want you to come back again anytime. I know there's a lot more topics we can talk about. We could probably talk all day about cats because we love them so much.
Yes. Yes, I would
So
love that.
thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, I have to thank Mark Winter for giving me this spot on Pet Life Radio. I will be forever grateful. And don't forget, every day is Catter Day. We'll see you next time, folks. Hit stop record.